we've got about 20 different peer groups and committees altogether. So there's more than enough stuff to get involved in that way. Our peer groups and committees, we have everything from a startup founders peer group and a startup committee. We have a women's council. There's tech leaders and software leaders. There's a CXO group. So there's more than enough things, even one for marketing folks. We also have about 3 to 5 events on average every single week and one major event every single month. So there's always something going on in addition to panels and tech talks, educational workshops. There's always something going on in the ecosystem. So we both want to help people connect through networking events, but then also educating them. If you follow the Eventbrite page, then every time we post an event, you'll automatically get an email. Third thing is we are actually starting to work with a brand new startup company called Show Up. They're basically, if you were to stick like a Instagram, a Facebook, and a Eventbrite and mesh them all together, they give you the capability of promoting events, but also real-time posting images, liking them, just getting engaged in real time. So that's a new platform that we're going to be posting all our events on. So it's a good place to find us. And again, a good place to find other events in the region, but also real-time updates. Probably the biggest event coming up, which I know you're aware of this, Gio, because you're one of the main sponsors and going to be our streaming partner, is the SoFlo DevCon. So we have this is actually the 17th year of this event. It typically pulls about 1,000 to 1,500 people. Very different than your average conference. Most conferences are $200, $300, $400 to get in, and sometimes that is a barrier of entry. We want to make sure that we are limiting any barrier of entry. So students, those of the underserved and underprivileged communities, anybody can join. So our event is completely free. It's on Saturday, April 16th. There are 17 different tracks with 6 different speakers in each. So there's over 100 different speakers going on, everything from AI, machine learning, entrepreneurship, IoT, Web3, NFTs. I mean, there's a ton of different talks. So that's probably the biggest one that's coming up for us. And we're really excited to work with Streann too as our streaming partner. We're actually just talking about our membership is early stage, seed stage startups, enterprise. So we have companies that maybe you would never recognize the name, all the way to companies like the Office Depots of the world, right? And as far as for startups, we have a startup founders peer group. So when somebody becomes a member, it's actually peer-to-peer sharing. We do a lot of educational workshops. We've done in the past investor connection events, pitch nights, which we actually have a couple of them coming up. There's a lot of like clinics or workshops. We also have a startup. And so basically we have the founders group on one side, and then we have a startup committee on the other. So the committee is kind of like the other side, right? It's all of there's like venture mentoring team, Endeavor, there's 1909, FAU Tech Runway, 500 Startups, the Lab, Miami. So there's a bunch of folks that are in the startup ecosystem, but are not founders themselves. It's more of those resource groups and folks that want to give back to startups. So part of what we're trying to do is making sure that we're aggregating all of these resources and these people to make sure that we are kind of, and no pun intended, but the hub of where to kind of go to find all these resources and the people. Yeah, so we're kind of in one of those like really, really super growth stages right now. So for us, it's kind of really hard to even look at 5 years in advance because we have so much stuff going on right now. To give you guys an idea, so I've been with the organization. I started as the VP almost exactly 3 years ago. I'll have my 3rd-year anniversary this summer. And when I started, I was literally employee number 2. It was just me and the previous CEO. We were the only staff members, and plus, of course, our volunteer board. So now, just in less than 3 years, we've gone from having just the one full-time staff to now we have about 10 staff members. They're a mix of full-time, part-time, interns. We're still a small, kind of a hodgepodge of us staff members put together, but we're slowly growing. We went from about 100 members to about 220 or so across the region. Again, we expanded from just Palm Beach County, which is what we started almost 7 years ago. We were just a Palm Beach County-wide organization, entire region. So there's a lot of activity, a lot of growth. Our board is huge right now. I think right now for us is because our merger just happened, we're really looking at getting through the next 12 to 18 months and making sure that we, clean up the board, find more volunteers, making sure we're streamlining all the activities and bringing in the right partners.